Alright, it's been nearly a week since we hit flood level, and there's still just so much debris floating in the water. No hope of leaving the slip again this weekend. Look, there's an actual tree coming down with a couple limbs sticking out of the water. That's river life, whatever. Alright, so since I had already glued everything down for the nav lights, I'm gonna have to redo the wiring from in here. Yay, chain locker. Big guys love small spaces. There's one. There we go. There. There. Nav light's good to go. Alright, so I'm back to working on my rat's nest of wires down here. Mission 1, I know you've heard me say it before, it irritates the crap out of me that I have no cabin lights, so here we go. Alright, so I have identified which circuit it's on and marked it so. It is getting power to it. I've got my light over here working. And the only other light on here is one I just installed a few minutes ago. Right here, little LED light. I got another one of these, and then I've also got 5 of these bad boys, so gotta figure out how and where to put these too. So in this process, I've already found that, I don't know, my bilge pump may have been working after all. The wires were never hooked up. But I've got a new one down there anyway, so I'll sort that out here soon too. Right now, still working on lights. Just enjoying a little time out on the river this morning by myself in my ridiculous hat. But as early as it is, it's already in the upper 80s and super humid, so, you know, I don't care. I like my hat. But otherwise, super nice morning out, really quiet. Love these kind of days. Loving life out here on the river. Alright, down there's my new sump pump. Got it all wired up into here. Just haven't labeled the switch yet. Figured while I had the stairs taken apart again to refinish the top part, and or not to refinish, but to finish off the top part and put some grip tape on the top. Figured to go ahead and knock this one out. Yeah. So I finally got my old GoPro working, and it's so old that it only has, or it can only accept up to a 32 gigabyte card. So the one I got for it wouldn't work. For whatever reason, GoPro didn't like the card, but I had to drop it down to a 16 gig card. I mean, whatever, at least I can get something a little different going on, but I think this thing's like 10 years old or something, but we're gonna see how it does, because it's either this or the iPhone. Alright, so I took the steps apart again so I can sand them and stain them, so here we go. Alright, so y'all know how I like to use what I got laying around the basement and such, so this came with the house when we bought it. It's some Olympic oil-based wood stain American cherry. I figure probably doesn't matter if it's interior or not, because I'm going to be putting varnish over it anyways. I just want to add some color to this wood here, so let's see how it goes. Free stuff. All right, for the actual top of it, I went ahead and rounded over the edge all the way around. Gave this a nice sand over too. There we go. That's the back edge, by the way, I don't care about that. But everything else nice and smooth. Gonna go get a coat of stain on this too. Then we'll varnish everything up. Well, I did at least manage to reassemble the rest of the stairs again. It's all shiny and stuff. I, of course, forgot the grip tape in the truck, so whatever. You'll see that eventually. The new LED mast light came, so it's time to head back up there. Yeah, today's just kind of been a struggle all day, and thought coming down here, working on the boat, get my mind off BS would just kind of, yeah, make things a little better. Well, the day continues on as it is. My dumb shit self dropped the damn wire for the masthead light into the mast. So, I'm thinking it over. I had two options I can think of, but I gotta sort them out. This is gonna suck either way. Sort of been one of those days for me, and dropping that wire down the mast is sort of the last straw. Put those steps back together almost out of irritation out of having to climb out of the boat again. But home now, yeah, sitting by the pond, made myself a homemade pina colada, and by the way, and FYI, not paid promotion at all. I wish I was getting paid, but I'm not. If you don't have a NutriBullet, you ought to get one. My wife and I bought one thinking we were gonna be all healthy and crap and make a bunch of like fruit smoothies and stuff. We mostly make margaritas, pina coladas, but best damn blended drink mixer you could possibly buy, in my humble opinion. Moving on, so called it quits on the boat today. Can't really get out of my funk, but I have something to look forward to nonetheless. In my effort to gain more sailing experience before, you know, taking my own out, because again, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, I am a total amateur. Had a couple of small boats. I had a 22-foot lawn ornament that never touched the water while I owned it because I couldn't afford to finish fixing it at the time. I've rented a handful of boats here and there, but mine that I've been working on is certainly the biggest boat I've ever had, and only sailed a boat larger than it once. So started reaching out through Facebook groups and everything, and managed to connect with somebody who was nice enough to invite me to go sailing on his boat with him this Friday. So gonna head back up to Maryland and hop on a Hunter 40.5 and go sailing on the bay for a few hours and get to know each other a little bit. Super psyched, really looking forward to it. Seems like a cool dude. I'm, you know, familiar with the Hunter brand, although I've never sailed one, but excited to get out there on the water and just get some time out there, a little more hands-on. So more to come. Well, my plans to sail today kind of fell through, but it's only because of the weather. It's supposed to be 110 degrees with the heat index today and like 5 to 7 knots of wind on the bay, so understandable, need to reschedule that. But I've got the day off and wanted to come out here on the boat for a little while by myself. Managed to pull the jib out for a little while the wind was up, but it's died again, so put the sail back away. Leaving the slip, however, this morning, got out of the slip just fine. Started to exit the marina and run aground, trying to get out of the marina. Seems all the boats pulling in and backing up and turning and stuff right there in that spot has created like a ridge where it's shallower than the rest of the marina. But thankfully, buddy who's there in the marina saw me struggling. I was able to throw him a line and he helped pull me off of it, and now I'm out in the river, but pretty much stuck out here till the tide comes back up. So is what it is. Boat life, can't complain. Passing under the Pocahontas Parkway Bridge. I think it's like 140 some odd feet of clearance, so not a problem for us. coming up on the port of Richmond, which looks to be hopping today. And if you look down there, there is the city of Richmond. All right, well, I've anchored here in about 11 feet of water. Figure there's an unplanned adventure. Don't have a swim trunks or anything, so I guess I'm gonna go skinny dipping and clean the hull some. I got another couple hours to go before the tide comes back in enough to get me back into my slip. For the first time ever, I am under nothing but sail power. It's a little hard to steer, hold the sail and phone, but super light winds, kind of inconsistent, but I'm making progress against tide, so I'm pretty happy. All right, so my wife didn't want to be in this part, but she helped me put on this swim platform the other day. It's got a ladder, drops down into the water. Definitely will help getting in and out of the boat. Of course, that's backed up with panels on the inside of the fiberglass, 5200, all that good stuff. Today though, it doesn't look like it right now, but in about 3 hours, there's gonna be some pretty nasty storms rolling through with some high winds, possible tornadoes. So I'm gonna get this sunshade down, put away, make sure everything's squared away. I'm gonna get that off the deck too, the paddle board, and put an extra line or two on the boat to hold it still. All right, gonna kind of wrap up this one with some cliff notes from the last week or so. I think I have a rough week and a half for a bunch of BS that you guys don't want to hear about, so I'm not going to go into it. But anyways, updates on stuff. I think I mentioned I stupidly dropped the wire for the mast light and deck light down into the mast. Now I've gotten back up there and I've got a line down in it right now with a lead fishing weight on it, but because my boat lists a little bit starboard, I think it's getting hung up on the mounting hardware for my winch here. So sometime this week, I'm gonna bring the family down and have them all stand over here on the port side, make us lean a little bit more that way. So hopefully I can get it to drop down in between the mounts for that stuff. Because I've got the wire already pulled out down here so I can get it fished back up there. Got to get back on that, get that stupid mast light installed. I was also able to get the kicker plate mounted for the outboard here. It's going to be my backup and my range extender, so to speak. It's one of my big three I need to check off before the end of September. Because in the end of September, I've got 5 days in a row off for my birthday, beginning on the 27th. And the plan is to take the boat down to the bay and sail for a little while, then bring her back upriver. So need to have that motor done, which is done. I still need to find a small generator to bring with me, and I got to get a holding tank situated in here and operational. So that's where I'm at on stuff. Sorry I didn't get the swim platform or the motor mount on film. You know, my wife, who helped me with the swim platform, isn't particularly interested in being in the channel. Whatever, I respect that. And my dad came and helped me get the motor mount on, but it was hot and we were busy, and honestly I didn't really think about it, so apologies, but you didn't miss anything spectacular. You know, a couple holes, some 5200 and a couple blocks of wood. But I'll get out here and test this motor soon. It's been about 2 years since I ran it, but it was in great working order before. It shouldn't take much to get it going. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm closing out this episode with an image of me sailing a hobby cat 8 years ago. This was the first time I ever actually got to sail a boat on my own, and it may have been my undoing. Sailing on the brain all the time these days. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the episode. In the next couple of episodes, be doing the final touches to get things ready for my first real trip on the boat. Won't be long or anything. Optimistically would like to make it to Tangier Island and back, but time constraints, weather, all that stuff will impact that decision. At the very least, I intend to get her down to the bay and get the sails up for a little while. So More to come. Look forward to the first trip near the end of September and a couple videos between now and then about finishing more odd jobs.